happening in New York and Italy didn't impact us at home, but I have to look at it as a sign of what could happen in my own home.
For sure.
Right.
We could be under the same.
And I want to take and if I look at what's going to happen in my own home, I can take the precautions to make sure it doesn't happen here.
Hands down.
Yes.
Protect yourself, your family, the people you love.
I looked at the fact that I wasn't going to do anything until it was at the foot of my bed. I mean, that's the way I looked at it. I mean, like, I didn't see it was a big deal because I didn't see anybody dying. And I mean, if I would have waited until people were dying at my feet, well, then that would have been too late.
Right. It's like not in my backyard syndrome.
Yeah.
It's not here. It doesn't bother me.
I had to look at, I looked at the fact of conforming. I thought it was a sign of surrender. The more that I looked at it, it's a sign of understanding.
Yep. It is.
I mean, I looked at conforming as a sign of weakness because, I mean, I'm going to be honest with everybody. I hate following rules. I'm a rule breaker. I have a hard time with authority.
Yep.
I always have.
Ditto.
And I had to really look at the way I was doing it was wrong, and I had to look at it. And I'm glad. I'm really glad I sat down there and really did this because I think it's made me a better person in the far end of it.
I think so too because now you have more understanding for people out there that are in fear.
Yeah.
You know, you're not necessarily in fear about it, but you're aware of the fact and the reality of it, and now you can relate and be like, okay, well, I understand how some people can be stuck in the fear and not judge them so much. You know, and be more compassionate towards them. Like I look at the people in the grocery store that give me the dirty looks, and like I want to be like, fuck you, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm sorry that you're so afraid because it sucks. Like I wouldn't want to be that terrified.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a very same thoughts that I had. Is like I didn't want to be that person. So I mean, I put this front up.
This bravado is like
oh, Scott's not afraid.
Yeah.
You know, Scott's not afraid. But I mean, in all reality, I was afraid. So I mean, I had to step back and look at myself being selfish, and how I as a person could ever take the chance of jeopardizing anybody else's life. Mm-hmm. Like how selfish of that fact. How could I ever do anything to jeopardize anybody else's life? And that would be the most selfish act I could make as a person.
100%. I just saw my grandma for the first time in 2 months on the weekend on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the same thing. It's like I wanted to, but I'm like, well, just FaceTime.
Huh. And staying at home, I'm not showing others what I'm doing for them. I mean, when I stay home and I do the self-isolating, I'm showing to them what I'm doing for them in hopes that they're going to do the same thing for me.
Yeah. Lead by example.
Yeah, and it's doing as I'm asked is a service to my country and a country that I love. So why wouldn't I do what my country asks for me? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I do what my country asks for me? I mean, like maybe this wasn't my chance to go to war like our grandparents did and went and fought in World War II, but maybe this is my chance to fight for my country, right? This is our war, and I have to do what my country asks for me. And this is my fight of my generation that I have to do for my Canadian people.
100%. I mean, it's still, in my opinion, it's still important to like understand what's really going on and do your research and look at the big picture on things, you know? But yes, abide by the rules and protect those in your country for sure.
So I want to talk about, at this point in life, I mean, not point as this point is today. There's just breaking over 4,000 deaths in Canada from this. All right, but I mean, I wanted to also take just a couple minutes to talk about some other big issues that I looked at as well. Just not just COVID-19, but I want to talk about some other big things. I want to look at the opioid crisis and the fentanyl crisis, and over 3,000 Canadians died in 2016, and 3,000 in 2017. I mean, that's a big problem. I mean, I don't want people to forget about this because this is the problem that's not going to go away.
No, and in fact, make it worse.
And I mean, we all have somebody that's been affected by this problem, this disease. It's an epidemic. It's a pandemic as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, and there's something that I don't want people to forget about. I mean, it's something that's going to stay here. I mean, this COVID thing's going to come and be gone, and this fentanyl crisis is something that I want everybody to be aware of. 100%. I mean, and a lot of us, we pull a blind eye at this because we think that it doesn't affect us. I mean, they're druggies or whatever, when we kind of turn a blind eye to it, and it's a serious problem here.
It's a serious problem. One of my closest friends passed away from fentanyl in 2014.
And
I
had a little guy,
horrible.
my little neighbor across the street died.
It's terrible. It's taken so many people. And it's not going away. In fact, it's getting worse because it's more prevalent now with COVID and with the shutdown and the border closings and bad drugs on the street. And people like mental health right now is through the roof, bad, which is leading to more overdoses. It's just, it's something definitely to keep in mind. And if you have somebody you're worried about, check in on them. Do what you can.
This is another big one. The school shootings. I'm not against guns, but I'm against gun violence. I'm against handguns. And since this COVID stuff that came on, as there was 22 people shot and killed in Nova Scotia during a school shooting, and in Canada. So I looked up how many gun deaths we're getting per year in Canada, and we're looking at about 130 in 2016. That's a number that needs to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Then,
I don't necessarily think that banning
it has nothing to do with it. I never said anything about banning the guns because I was a hunter.
Yeah,
but the handguns are a problem in the inner city, and that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Any inner city has handgun problems, and we need to address that problem. We do. As a country, there has to be something done.
100%.
So, this is the last one I wanted to come up, and this is something that I really was really sobering to me, and this is about cancer. And 115,800 Canadian men will be diagnosed with cancer, and 44,100 men will die from cancer in 2020. 110,000 Canadian women will be diagnosed with cancer, and 39,300 women will die from it. So the total is 83,400. So as being a Canadian, your chances of getting cancer are 1 in 2. But this year, I got tears for that one. This year is going to be about making change, right? So, the Scotty Too Hottie show, what we're doing is we're going to make a difference here in the Okanagan. We're going to, Kelowna is our home. And so, what we decided to do to make the biggest problem that I see here in Kelowna is the homeless problem. So, I as a new resident find that it's a massive problem, and that it's not just concentrated to the downtown core. It's widely spread throughout the city, and panhandling in front of stores, and on other major intersections, squatting, hunger, and then this is all a serious problem. So what I've done is the Scotty Too Hottie show is fighting the coronavirus. So I've made t-shirts that say the coronavirus on them, and for $30, and for 50% of the proceeds of this shirt are going to go towards feeding the homeless. And we're going to start there. And hopefully that I get this ball rolling bigger enough that I'd be able to make a donation to the UBC, because I know that they come up with solutions for the homeless. So I want to be able to. We're going to start at selling these T-shirts for $30, and so the cost of the T-shirt is $20. So $5 from every T-shirt. The coronavirus is going to go towards feeding the homeless, and you can email me at coronavirus@outlook.com, or you can visit us at the Scotty Too Hottie Show.wordpress.com. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming to season 2. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
And this band's from Seattle, Washington, and it's the Adarna, and it's Gift of Gab. Enjoy.